One of my favorite topics is rejection because it is something that almost feels like a dirty word, a bad word. It's not talked about a lot, and it is absolutely holding so many people back when it comes to selling. More often than not, a lot of people fear the no more than they are excited about the yes. Like the fear of somebody saying no to them or ghosting them actually feels worse than worrying about somebody saying yes. Like, we want the yes, but it's not enough of a strong of a feeling for somebody to put in the work. I'm not saying everyone, but this can show up so much in selling your services. And I want to talk about it today because I think when you can really start to unpack the rejection and not let it consume you and not let it control you, then you can be back in the driver's seat. And it's not to say that you still won't have fear of rejection in selling, but it won't be to the point where you hold yourself back from your wealthy life. And I just have so much I want to talk about with this. So today's podcast sponsor, which I'm so grateful for, is Nicole. She has an amazing business. Her business is Joshua D Consulting, and I want to read a little bit about what they do. Joshua D Consulting, named after and in honor of her miracle and fighter son, Joshua. He has inspired her and taught her so many things. Joshua D Consulting provides services for families lost in a system with little to no resources. They offer support with daily challenges of managing a child with disabilities. They provide parent-to-parent support while building community, and they've got a growing community that I will make sure that we put in the show notes. A learning disability and just disabilities in general from a child standpoint is not an easy thing. Parents can feel so isolated and just so confused at what to do. And Nicole is just a breath of fresh air. She has so many resources, and just you can truly feel that she loves what she does. So Nicole, thank you for sponsoring today. I love you so much and so grateful for you. Let's get into it, shall we? So rejection. I want you to pay attention when you are selling for the next, let's say, the week. Do you hold back, right? Meaning you don't send the DMs. If you're in front of somebody and they're like, I've been, needing XYZ, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have that. Why am I not offering it, right? I want you to notice where you hold yourself back in selling opportunities, whether you create them or somebody else is coming to you. Because the more we start to really look at selling as serving, then we're really holding back support from other people. But you are a human, and more often than not, so many people have been rejected in other parts of their life, and they don't necessarily always realize that it's holding them back from selling in their business, right? It's so sexy to get into business. You're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so fun. I see people on the internet traveling the world. They're paying off debt. Why not me? YOLO, let's go, right? And there are so many sexy, amazing, beneficial things of being a business owner. And, and there are so many challenges. I always say that your business is one giant personal growth journey that you didn't really necessarily sign up for, knowing that it was that. And so the more you heal yourself, including rejection, you will really start to level up so much faster because you feel good in the selling process. So I first want you to just step into awareness for the next week and just see I'm not prioritizing sales. You're rejecting yourself, right? So this is even before you get to anyone else. If you're not prioritizing sales, but yet you keep talking about it or keep telling other people or keep making excuses, you're rejecting yourself first, right? Now, if you are making time for sales, whether that be you're going on Facebook Live, you're sending emails, right? You're doing the things, you're reaching out to people in the DMs, you're doing sales calls, then you are in a different stage of rejection, meaning you're not rejecting yourself. You're now putting yourself out there, which is not an easy thing to do by any stretch of the imagination. But you could still be holding yourself back, right? Maybe you're not sending DMs because that feels too stretchy and uncomfortable, right? Because the minute you see somebody that has read it and then they didn't respond, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I suck. Like, they don't want what I have, right? So I want you to notice, are there different sales activities that you avoid? Are there, you could be putting in more hours, but you fill it with other time, but yet you're not close to your goals, right? So I want you to just pay attention. Are you avoiding sales altogether? Are you avoiding sales activities? If people are right in front of you and you're like, oh my gosh, I know that I could serve and support them, but you're not moving the selling relationship forward, there could be some fear of rejection there, right? Now, if you are no, I'm not rejecting myself, I'm not rejecting sales activities, I'm full on in it to win it type of mentality, then there may be still a sense of okay, when somebody does say no, how do you feel, right? Are you okay, cool, and you keep moving forward, or does it completely derail you? So all of this is just data, so we can really understand how you're feeling about all of this, right? I love the saying, rejection is actually redirection. I cannot control any person that says yes or no, as much as you can't, right? But I can absolutely control my actions, my mindset, my energy, my offers, making them better, right? Improving on my marketing, et cetera, right? So the last thing that I want you to do is reject yourself, okay? We can't control anyone else but you, and you're stuck with you for the rest of your life. So what I want you to step into is really focusing on you and leveling up your sales game and knowing at the end of the day, okay, I know when I can continue to work on myself, work on my craft, work on my marketing, work on my sales activities, this is going to start moving forward. And I equally want you to visualize people saying yes to you, right? How does that feel? And I want you to focus on the people that are saying yes to you. Everyone is on their own timeline. Everyone's on their own journey. We cannot expect we send out 10 messages and all 10 people say yes. No one on this planet has that type of sales conversion, no matter who they are, no matter how much mindset work they have done. So when we can really remind ourselves of the data and sales statistics, it can actually really help, right? Most, the average sales conversion rate is 2 to 5% of everyone that you talk to. Now that's on the lower end. Typically if you have a stronger, close-knit community, it'll be much higher. If you're on a sales call, it typically is much higher than that. But I love saying this conversion percentage because it's so helpful, because if you're oh my gosh, Nellie, I talked to 10 people and 2 said yes, that's actually really good. Seriously. And we get to start focusing on who is saying yes, who is responding to you, who is interested. This is really stepping into abundance, and where attention goes, truly energy flows. So if you keep focusing on the rejection, you're going to feel not so good, right? You're going to attract more rejection. And when we can step into focusing on who is saying yes, right? Like I said, who is interested, who is excited, right? Who's cheering you on. We're in such good energy that you're just going to keep attracting so much good. And at the end of the day, when it comes to rejection, it really has nothing to do with you. I know sometimes people can be nasty or they forget to respond to you, and we can make up these big stories in our heads. Sometimes, this happens in business too. Sometimes people say yes and then they back out, right? And they don't fulfill their contract. And although like you can fight them on it, like I've just noticed for my energy, it's actually better for me to let them go, right? Like just let them go. I stand in integrity. It's important to me, and I can't save everyone, right? And they're on their own journey. I love them. I bless and release them, and I keep moving forward. And so at the end of the day, when it comes to rejection, I really want you to start paying attention to like how you feel in the selling process and focusing on what we can control. And no, like this really does take time. Like I remember years ago, it was bad. I would obsess about my unsubscribe list. I would obsess about people that would come into my programs and then bow out. And I'm like, no, you agreed upon this. And I would fight so hard. And like, it just drained me. Again, where attention goes, energy flows, right? So when I have stepped into this energy of being so incredibly grateful for the business that I've built, the clients that I've attracted, the programs that we've created, like what actions am I taking every single day to build my vision and create impact in this world, it feels so different. It is absolutely a vibe that I want you to absolutely feel and experience day in and day out. And it is a choice. And I know it's not always easy, but choose today, see how it feels, and then choose again tomorrow, and then the next day, and the next day, and the next day. It's always a constant choice, and the choice can change 20 times that day too. So like maybe something happens, and I equally want you to feel your feelings. Like there have been people that have parted ways, or said that they were going to sign up and then didn't, and I do get excited, right? Like I'm human. And so I do allow myself to feel whatever I'm feeling. I just don't stay there if it's not serving me. So I stay there for a minute, honor those feelings, work through those emotions, and then I keep moving forward. As where before, it would derail me and then just keep building and building and building. And I never shifted out of the energy. And so we get to feel all of the emotions for sure, and also focus on the ones that can and do serve us on the highest good. So I just really want you to take all of this in consideration and start paying attention to where you are playing small from a selling standpoint, what doesn't feel good from a selling standpoint, how can we tweak and modify all of this? When someone says no to you, how do you feel? When someone says no. When someone says yes to you, how do you feel? Yes. I have background. No. Yes. And just work through all of this. I really do believe the more you grow, the more your business will grow. And that's like the affirmation that I want you to carry with you today. The more I grow, the more my business will grow. And so like take these moments as like exciting moments rather than like, oh, I don't want to feel this rejection again, right? Because it is a trade-off. And that's like the last thing I want to leave you with. If you want to build a 6-figure business, $1 million business, you're going to fail a lot and you're going to get rejected a lot. Are you willing to feel that, right? Like, and more importantly, how can you get into an energetic space that you will be okay feeling that, right? And so support is amazing for that. And obviously journaling, meditating. I find when I am so rested and feeling my best self, like rejection does, like, I just blink and I'm like, okay, like keep moving forward. It's when I'm tired, right? When I'm hungry, when I haven't haven't taken care of myself. And that's when rejection like feels so heavy because I don't feel my best, right? So it's just like such a good reminder of like your business cannot outgrow you. So the more you invest in you, the more your business will grow. And like at the end of the day, like enjoying yourself is the most important thing, no matter what amount of money that you bring in. So start to pay attention to this, see how it feels. I'm here to hold space for you and support you, and just know that this is a part of the journey, and it's totally normal to feel whatever you're feeling. And also I want you to know there's hope on the other side. So you don't have to feel awful 100% of the time. and we can heal and work through this together. So I love you. You're amazing. Remember, rejection is redirection. Your people are out there. They're waiting for you. They're so excited for you to be able to support them, and they may not even know it yet, but they are getting closer and closer and closer. And they are just, you're going to serve them on such a high level, and it's going to feel amazing.